Welcome back, YouTube. It is Saiko, and today we are here back with another video in our 30 teams in 30 days series. And in today's video, we're going to be covering my favorite team, or at least the team that I'm a fan of, the Los Angeles Lakers. Yeah, that was a little stupid, but I mean, you guys, I don't know, man. Okay, I'm wearing it, so like obviously you know. But before we get into the video, if you guys could please hit the like button and also hit subscribe, I would really appreciate it. Also, don't forget to hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on another video. I'm trying to reach 100 subscribers by the end of the year, so if you guys could actually do that, I would really appreciate it. And I'm pretty sure that LeBron James would too. Who am I kidding? LeBron James literally has no idea who I am, and I am very doubtful that he would even recognize me. He barely recognizes anyone, or I don't know. You guys know what I mean by that. If you couldn't tell by the hoodie, and like I said earlier, yes, I am a Lakers fan, but that does not mean I'm going to be biased towards this team. If anything, I'm probably going to be super hypercritical about what this team has. So this offseason, pretty much the only thing that the Lakers really did in terms of letting people go was they let go of Dennis Schroeder, and they also let go of Markieff Morris. Other than that, majority of their players came back. This team also did make a big splash by trading for Mr. Triple-Double himself, Russell Westbrook. And all they had to give up was Kyle Kuzma, Montrezl Harrell, and KCP. Oh, and also a few guys by the names of like Kendrick Nunn, Malik Monk, Wayne Ellington, Kent Bazemore, Trevor Ariza, Dwight Howard, DeAndre Jordan, Rajon Rondo. Oh, and also this one dude, you might have heard of him. He might be a Hall of Famer soon. Carmelo Anthony, all signed to the team. Oh, and they also re-signed Talon Horton Tucker to like a 3-year deal, a pretty cheap deal. Like legit, this team is stacked with a bunch of old veterans and a few guys here and there who are still pretty young. But honestly, the Los Angeles retirement home memes make me laugh because I think it's funny, and I also think it's very strange to have this old of a cast on a team like this. So the one thing you might be asking is, why am I super critical about this? Or why am I going to be super critical about this team? And the answer is just very simple. Age. These dudes are fucking old, man. But I'll talk about each old player as we get to them. So anyways, I think it's about time that I talk about the starting lineup, and I think we all know what the starting lineup is pretty much going to be looking like. I do have LeBron listed as a small forward and not a point guard because Russell Westbrook is here, even though he'll still probably be the one technically running point guard, I guess. Anyways, my prediction for the starting lineup on this team is probably going to be something around the lines of Russell Westbrook at the 1, Malik Monk at the 2, LeBron is going to be at the 3, AD will be at 4, and DeAndre Jordan is going to be the 5. Off the bench, I'm seeing guys like Rondo, Wayne Ellington, THT, Melo, and Dwight as the guys who are potentially going to be getting backup minutes. Oh, and Kendrick Nunn might fit in there somewhere else. I didn't mention Trevor Ariza because Trevor Ariza might be out for like a significant amount of time. Russell Westbrook is probably not going to average a triple-double this year like he did last year, and like he did like for the before like last year, like did for like 3 years straight or something like that. And I can't even lie to you, he looked horrible in that first preseason game. I know that it's the preseason, so I shouldn't overreact, but I mean, dude, you had like 6 turnovers in like what, 5 minutes or something like that. But I think we all are confident in the fact that Russell Westbrook probably isn't going to have a game like that again, or at least if he does have a game like that, it's going to come like somewhere random where maybe it doesn't matter as much. Hopefully it's like earlier on in the season or something like that, or I just hope it doesn't happen in general. But I mean, it's Russell Westbrook, so yeah. He's also not the stereotypical point guard that you really see next to LeBron. Most of the point guards that LeBron has played with have not really been ball dominant, well, aside from Kyrie. But I mean, like, a lot of the point guards that LeBron has played next to have been able to like really give him the ball and, you know, let him shine. Oh, and Russ has kind of been known to be sort of this like bonehead player when it comes to like last minute stuff, because it does honestly, and this is the biggest criticism I have of him, I'm a big fan of Russ, but don't get me wrong, he can be kind of a bonehead sometimes. Like, I just feel like sometimes he doesn't have a plan when he goes to the basket. He just ends up turning the ball over a lot, especially like during crunch time. So I don't know. He's very controversial. I know a lot of people love him. A lot of people hate him. I love him, but I can recognize where he goes wrong. Plus, he doesn't really shoot. So, I mean, I don't know if he's going to be an amazing three-point shooter. He can knock them down in the gym, but can you knock them down in an actual game, Westbrook? Because you haven't been able to do that since your MVP season. But I'm pretty sure that Frank Vogel will find a way to make these two work together, because I mean, they're two of the 3 biggest stars on this team, so I mean, they have to work together. Malik Monk is kind of a question for me on this team. After he was kind of on the booger sugar a few years ago, I wasn't really sure if he was actually going to be in the league still. I will say that he did shoot amazing from 3 last year after shooting like shit ever since he came into the NBA, but I mean, last year could have been a fluke. I really hope it wasn't, but if it was, damn. But I hope that him playing next to LeBron will actually help him, you know, be a spot-up shooter and raise that 3-point percentage. Because if we could get last year's Malik Monk on this team, that would be amazing. Especially with how he looked in the preseason. I don't know if he's still on the booger sugar or something like that. But I mean, yo, if that's what that does to you, then I mean, keep doing it, bro. LeBron. What can I even say about you, dude? Well, I mean, I guess for one, you're not the best player in the league for once, or at least you're not the best player this year. But honestly, at this point in his career, it just really feels like LeBron has kind of completed who he is as a player. But I will say I'm probably not the biggest fan of him because, well, I'm wearing Kobe bracelets if you couldn't tell. So, like, I'm a big Kobe fan. I am a Lakers fan. Don't get me wrong, though. I'm not a Kobe fan because I've been a big fan of this team even when they were shit. But I do have to say, I really do respect LeBron's improvement as a player. Just kind of who he is off the court as well is pretty respectable. It's just, you're old, dude. I think if anything, his scoring is going to go down and his playmaking is going to go up. Not like he led the league in assists for like a year. I think he did it last year or something like that. Or was it 2 years ago? I don't remember. I still do think, despite all the shit that I'm talking about him, that he is going to be a top 5 player in the league still. But obviously, he's still Steph Curry's son. So, I mean... Okay, yeah, bad joke is bad. I'm sorry. But, like, even if LeBron was in Cleveland, I still would say that he's a top 5 player. He probably wouldn't be number 1 if everything happened to him that happened to him last year. Anthony Davis's health is the one thing that I'm just so concerned about. The dude is legitimately just made of glass. Every year, it just feels like we've never been able to get any sort of, like, healthy consistency out of him. When he's healthy, he's a top 3 power forward in the league. Yes, I am counting Kevin Durant as a 4, by the way, because he plays next to Joe Harris. Sorry, just random side tangent right there. But, like, I think that if AD stays healthy, number 1, he's a top 3 power forward, and number 2, I think this could be his year to finally win Defensive Player of the Year, because I'm not going to lie to you. I'm kind of tired of voting for Rudy Gobert. I kind of did want Ben Simmons to win it last year. Hell, I wanted Bam Adebayo to win it last year. So, I mean, if AD wins it, I would be happy. But obviously, it's all according to his health. DeAndre Jordan was a last-minute acquisition by this team, and I think that he's going to start because one of his biggest complaints when he was in Brooklyn was that Jarrett Allen was starting over him. Like, bro, you're old as hell. Jarrett Allen is the youthful player. He was a starter on a playoff team, like, what, 2 years ago? But I guarantee you he's still going to be able to do his job, which is to catch lobs, block shots, rebound. I also know that AD thanked Rob Pelinka because he doesn't want to play center, which, bro, AD, I get it, but play fucking center, dude. I think the way the Lakers are going to play Rondo is the same way that they did play him during the championship run. So basically, he's going to come off the bench when LeBron sits. I don't think he should have ever left the Lakers, honestly. I know that he went to Atlanta last year and then he ended up back in LA, but obviously on the Clippers. But, like, he should have just never left the Lakers, honestly. Especially with the way that he played on the Clippers, it kind of felt like the guys would just rush in, and then the moment that they didn't know what to do, they would just toss the ball back out to him, and then he would have to conduct offense, pass it back to someone else, and they would pass it back to him to reset it once again. I don't know. It was just really annoying to watch Rondo on the Clippers. So as long as Rondo does what he did in the championship run, where he's going to take the minutes away from LeBron, or he's going to be the point guard when LeBron is sitting down, I have no problem with it whatsoever. I can also see Kendrick Nunn getting a lot of the backup minutes at point guard just because of the fact that, unlike Rondo and unlike Westbrook, Kendrick Nunn can actually shoot the ball. He was actually really good on the Heat a few years ago. He did catch the vid in the bubble, and his game really suffered. But I mean, after last year, he looks pretty good to me, or at least he looks fine to me now. Wayne Ellington has a torch on him, and he's going to be a spot-up shooter just like he pretty much has been known to be his entire career. Perfect for LeBron. Kellen Horton-Tucker was a steal of a draft pick the last couple of years, and I mean, he's really bulky. He can shoot. He can score. He's going to be nice as a backup. Melo. And yes, I am calling him Melo because Carmelo is legitimately, in my eyes, the real Melo. You're a certified Hall of Famer. You changed your game when you got to the Blazers. I know that you had such an ego problem when you went to OKC, and then you kind of got a little bit humbled when you were in Houston, but you were also the scapegoat there, unfortunately. But honestly, the Blazers giving him that chance back really changed him, and I'm really happy because he's going to be an amazing guy off the bench for us if he can, you know, hit his shots, because, you know, sometimes he just doesn't. Dwight Howard came off the bench for Philly last year, and he looked pretty good. He's also looked pretty good in the preseason so far. He's been catching a lot of lobs, so I could actually see him starting in front of DeAndre Jordan if DeAndre Jordan isn't up to snuff. But I mean, I know DeAndre wants to start because he was being a baby about it in Brooklyn, apparently. As for where this team places in the West, I feel like they could be anywhere from the 4th seed to the 1st seed, depending on their health. I'm really not trying to keep my hopes up either for the postseason. I don't think they're going to win the chip. If anything, it is a possibility for them to, you know, get all the way to the finals and then lose to the Nets, because let's be honest, who the hell is going to beat the Nets? Also, the West is very competitive, so honestly, 4th through 1st is pretty humble in my opinion, or is really nice to say about them, or at least that's how much confidence I have in them. But obviously, they could really place anywhere. Health is just the biggest thing about this team because LeBron got hurt last year, AD got hurt last year. The one thing I know for sure is that Russell Westbrook will this team if he's the only star on it. He might have a 60-point triple-double when they're down by like 25, but I mean, he's gonna just do his best to really will this team to the finish line. Relax, keyboard warriors. That was a joke, okay? Look, I'm a Lakers fan. Let me make fun of my own team, bro. But you guys get what I mean. Especially with the whole Russell Westbrook thing. I just really hope that this team doesn't blow up like they did in the first round last year. If they blow up in the first round while healthy, then I just don't really have any words because they made that Russell Westbrook trade, and then if they're to fall from grace that badly, then I wouldn't even know what to say. Anyways, what do you guys think of the Lakers? I think that their health is probably the biggest concern. It's just, if they're not healthy, then I don't know where they're going to place. They're kind of a big question mark in a way. I hope that they do bounce back from last year, though. But let me know down in the comment section down below. Anyways, my name is Saiko. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Please rate, comment, and subscribe for more content. And I will see you guys tomorrow for my 30 teams in 30 days on the Portland Trail Blazers. Bye, guys.